System Philosophy Part 11, Elements of Extreme. Um, Before I start this topic, I want you to understand that one of the concern in the world of philosophers, one of the concern is the fact a lot of philosophers does not know uh, the completeness of this society, this world. And when they don't know that, when they don't know these things, their philosophy is weak. They have design element weak because the creator doesn't know the concepts, the events, the possibilities basically about these things. For me, I want to talk about it because before I got into system philosophy, I know a lot of things about. I learned a lot of things about humanity, um, either on the good side or the bad side. However, from my voice, you can obviously tell that the good side didn't take hold of me, or nor the bad side. I'm kind of neutral in both sides because you'll learn it because in value system you'll figure out why I'm being so neutral between good and bad, because good or bad is not a good way to define people. That's why when you get into value system, you'll learn that value is the thing that determines the people, not good or bad. It's more specific, it's more accurate, it's more motive based than just abstract good and bad, you know. But back to the topic, elements of extreme. You know, there are a lot of bad things in this world, such as, you know, rape, murder, you know, steal, trust, war, you know, disease, pain, death, all of this. You know, I know the most extreme. You know, for example, you know, recently on the news are ISIS. You know, I know them pretty well. You know, since I know their ideology extremely well because I'm pretty much good at every single ideology there is. Even negatively, you know, like Hitler, Nazism, or, you know, positive Christianity, and I know all of them pretty extremely well. But, you know, they behead people. You know, they will go into villages and rape people, and, you know, kill the men and basically sell the children as slaves, and rape the women in those villages that they counter, and they just murder people who doesn't share the same ideology as them. You know, that's pretty extreme, you know. And there are wars such as trust issue, you know, for example, people in the United States, there are a lot of hackers who just hack retail store or hack personal, basically your credit card. You know, your credit card information can be stolen. You know, they are gonna use your credit card information pretending to be you, and basically buy things for themselves that they don't know that a lot of people doesn't necessarily aren't necessarily rich. So basically, hackers are ripping those people off. And, you know, and murders. You know, for example, Mexico, there are drug gangs that basically they would you know, have gang wars every day. And if you get captured and you belong to one of the opposite gang, you will get, for example, beheaded in the public, pretty much. And there is no law enforcement because the law is useless unless there is reinforcement. It's like your house. Your house is worthless. Yeah, another country can come and take it easily. What is there to protect it? What is there to stop them from doing that? Is the law and the military. So basically, your house value is basically you're paying for the protection of the military. Hopefully you understand what I'm thinking, because the law is useless without execution. It's like saying murder, if you can get away with murder, hell, everyone will go murder, because you have a risk of getting caught. That's why most of the people don't do it. The risk is countering the benefit. I will talk more about the event system on online topic that you have to read about. I'm not gonna talk about here. But anyway, so I'm of extreme back to the topic again. You have to know these extreme elements and find them. Some of the elements of the extreme is not logical. For example, if you have an argument with someone, they will say, they're gonna kill you. It's not logical, because it's not worth it over some verbal fight. Of course, if you're doing it for personal reasons, then I still think it's not worth it, because it's just not worth it. Anyways, this is element extreme. So the summary of this is, if you're a philosopher, you must understand there are evils in this world extremely well. You have to literally sit down with extreme murder, criminals, and talk to them about their motive, and think in their direction, to get grip of their mental their mental feelings, so that you can implement in your philosophy, such that you can counter their motivation. It's just something recommend. It's extremely strongly recommended, because if you want to be complete in philosophy, you must understand the extreme side of the society, and still covers the extreme side. For example, value system of course covers murders, criminals, ISIS, those 9/11, jihads, all of that is covered. There's not a single exception. However, for some philosophers, their philosophy doesn't cover those, and therefore is weak, because if you want your philosophy to last through time, and to be powerful and influential, you must cover those people, and that's something you must cover. Anyways, this is the end of this topic. However, as a bonus, I'm gonna talk about another topic. It's about argument. Personally, I get into argument all the time. I enjoy arguments, logical arguments, not the one you swear at each other for meaningless reasons. It's for example, even if I'm extremely good at philosophy, people can say, you suck shit at philosophy, and they wouldn't have any argument against me, because obviously I spent my whole life in philosophy, and I pretty much perfectionalize philosophy, such that if you are gonna argue against me about why I'm not a philosopher, or I suck at being a philosopher, I can really make you basically you're logical. Because you're not gonna have any argument against me. I have a system of argument in which you cannot argue against, which that is something I will tell you about later, is system of argument. But I'm not gonna get into that right now. So basically, the point of this is, when you argue to people, you have to bring logics. Why? Because when you say someone, for example, when someone is being a whore, for example, when you accuse a female of being a whore, that is not logical, because what if she's not a whore, and she's not even married, and she don't even have a boyfriend? That would be your logical, because the way of your swear at a person is not logical. It's not true. When you swear at something that is not true, it gets pretty much neutralized over time, because it's not true. It's not something that they think they should worry about. They would just think it's bullshit. Why would I be sad about bullshits, right? So that is something that you have to understand, because some people doesn't understand. I know people who get mad because some people say something not true about them. For example, if someone is really trustworthy and they get accused of not trustworthy without any reasoning behind why, then they feel sad, then you should think about, it's not logical. Why I bring this topic up? Because I get meaningless argument all the time. I'm how do I say this? I'm pretty, I'm somewhat popular, and controversial on the internet, so that I often get people who hate me, and so, but they never have any reasoning against me to suppress me. So yeah, this is something you have to understand, and I know people who suffer from not understanding that. When there's an argument against you that is not logical, you shouldn't take it into your heart. You should instead laugh at the person for being illogical, and you should look at them. They're not illogical. In a society, if everyone is illogical, guess what? The society is not gonna work. If these people are supposed to be the minority of the society, if they're the majority, they're gonna be major chaos in the society, obviously. So I know I have a lot of pause and uncertainties, because the concept is there, but I'm just taking a lot of times going over the concept, making sure, but that's one of the problem is the way I talk. For example, the way I talk, you might think, what, Harvard, you're not being very absolute. You have too much uncertainties. The way you speak. I guess that's not really true. Because my concept for this topic is extremely strong. There is nothing abstract about it. It is based upon facts. So there is not much of uncertainties to it, anyways, and you know it. Yeah, but the way I speak, I guess the way my brain process, it's kind of bringing this uncertainty, the voice of uncertainty. But yeah, back to the topic. I want you to think about these things. Why meaningless argument without actual reasoning and facts and logic behind their argument? You should just ignore them. And in summary, if you're a philosopher, you must consider all the extremes of the society and see if your philosophy stand up to the logical possibilities. However, you have to experience in order to create, to sync up all the logic possibilities to use against your own philosophy. So yeah, this concludes the topic. I mean, you have to really think about what I said. I noticed there's pause, and yeah.